Good morning, students. Hope all of you are fit and fine. Today we'll complete the chapter His First Flight. Last day we came to know about the little seagull's family. His family consists of 6 members. The young seagull is afraid of flying and family has concern of his food and fear of flying. Family leaves him alone at the rock. So he cries because of heat and hunger. Everybody taunts him for his cowardice. No one looks at him except the mother, who tries to tempt him for a piece of fish. In fact, the story highlights the importance of family and friends in one's life. It also gives the message that one needs to believe in self to overcome all the hurdles of one's life. Let's see what happened afterwards. Was the little seagull successful in flying? The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Wet means to sharpen, to make it ready to tear his food. So what happened? The sight that his mother brought a piece of fish, and try to scrap it each side of a beak on the rock. He became mad because he was too hungry. And that particular sight of food, fish, maddened him. Ga, 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 he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Ga, cow, she screamed. She screamed back derisively. Derisively means in a contemptuous manner, in a manner showing someone that she or he is stupid. So he became desperate. He was too hungry. He started to beg for his food. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. What happened then? Suddenly, his mother took a piece of fish and came across him as if she is coming nearer to him to give him the food. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted. She stopped, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak, almost nearer to him. But at that moment, his mother stopped flying, became motionless. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. The young seagull was astonished by her mother's behavior, but could not control himself at the sight of the food. So he leapt forward for it. So we can understand it was also a trick of his mother. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. Then a monstrous terror seized him. and his heart stood still. So this is the first time hunger maddened him, and he dived for the food. But after that, what happened? The terror, the fear that seized him, that stopped him, as if his heartbeat stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. So that was for a minute lasted. When he thought that he was trying to fly, he started flying. He felt that his wings spread outwards. What a thing! He was flying. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. So at first he was afraid that he could fall, he couldn't fly. Now he saw, he felt, he realized that one by one he is taking the steps to learn flying. We know this is the very general process for the birds, how to fly. So at first he felt that his breast feathers, then the stomach, and then against the wings the wind rushed, and he saw that he was not falling. He was soaring, that means flying gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. That means, and just he is not afraid now, but his feeling is a bit dizzy. That means an uncomfortable feeling of spinning around and losing one's balance. Then he flapped his wings once and he spread upwards. Ga 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 ga. His mother soofed past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. He saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, curveting. Curveting means leaping like a horse, and banking, flying with one wing higher than the other, and soaring and diving. So his family surrounded him as he dived and soared in the sky. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and commended himself to dive and soar and curve, shrieking shrilly. He saw a vast green sea beneath him, with little ridges moving overhead, and he turned his beak sideways and cawed. The sound produced by him cawed amusedly. Now he became happy. He became glad that he is now able to fly. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green floating ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. he dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His whole family surrounded him as he dived and soared in the sky. We have seen. After that, he saw the vast green sea beneath him, on whose surface his family had landed. As the young seagull's family was calling out to him, he too landed on the water. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. So what happened? When he landed on the water, he felt as if he was sinking in the water. And again he tried to fly by flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise, exhausted by the strange exercise. He wanted to fly again, but he couldn't because he became so frustrated, so exhausted, too tired, as he was very hungry, and obviously for that new experience. His feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no further. So what happened? At first he was afraid, as he thought that he was sinking. But when the water touched his belly, he felt he was floating. He is not sinking now. That means he learned how to float in the water. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight. So the family of the little seagull appreciated and choked around him. They started enjoying his first flight, and as a gift they offered him scraps of dogfish as he was successful in his first flight. So this story shows how the seagull is tricked into flying by its mother, and then how it overcomes its fear. This can be related to the human situation too. We at times are afraid of taking the leap, thinking about the consequences. So the story is as much about the seagull as it is about us. And we must notice the importance of parents' help also here. This way, we learn to embark on our journey successfully. So I think the story is clear to you. Now you will get the word meanings, questions, and the value points of this particular story. Let us check the word meanings of this chapter. You must learn all these word meanings not only for the better understanding of the text, but it will also increase your vocabulary. Now today's lesson in brief. The theme of the story. Here the picture of a little boy who is trying to tie the lace of his shoe without any help. That is called self-reliance, and it comes from self-respect. The lesson teaches us self-esteem, self-confidence, self-respect, hard work, self-reliance, pain that precedes success, and the most important thing, attempt to better oneself. Now few questions from today's part. So we have learned that self-esteem isn't a gift, it's a process. The success, the most awaited thing, it will the combination of self-esteem and self-confidence. Now we are at the end of this story. Thank you very much.